Okay, so so let's talk about kind of queuing things, but also being flexible on the fly. I don't know why these are. Okay, so let's open up a new queue list. And let's program some quick looks. Full, red, new queue, they're going to be blue, new queue, they're going to tilt up, new queue, they're going to do a quick little circle thing. Okay, so we have 4 queues. First queue, they're on the red. Second queue, they're blue. Third queue, they tilt up. Fourth queue, they start going crazy. So if you want to, you can do the show, you can do all your queues like that, and you can run through the show just fine. But let's say, for instance, you know, oh, we had a change, so 3 queues from now, they're actually going to go, they're not going to go into this crazy thing. We want to tone that down. So the blue queue in this queue list is the one that's always, the blue thing is the one that is out on stage right now. You can also select different queues. And with Vista, you can actually see what that queue looks like. You can see up here it says playing 1 queue. So it's playing queue 1. But the one that you're looking at, the 4 queue, this is what you're actually seeing. And you can edit that too.
How'd you do that?
You just select the queue up top, right there. You can select 3, and it shows you right there.
How did you not pull that up? What's the difference?
So the difference there is these 2 buttons, Queue View and Link. Vista tries to do it automatically for you. If you select a queue, it'll automatically turn in Queue View. If you uncheck that, it'll show you,
You're not hitting play or next.
No. If you have Link selected, if you select a queue, it's going to jump to that queue. So be careful. So Link, jump to 1. There you go. But if you don't have anything selected and you select a queue, it'll automatically choose Queue View for you. So you can edit these queues on the fly while something else is playing. So if I have Q4 selected, I can take this and I can go to my smart effects, and actually I want them to just, do the breathe thing. And it's done. Go back, and when you go to that queue, they're not going crazy anymore, they're just kind of wiggling around imperceptibly. You can, if you're really good and you don't have billions and billions of fixtures, you can actually do this in the Live tab too with the stealth feature. So I can have a look on stage. My R2 is at full and red, tilted up. What you can do is you can hit stealth, and it's going to bring in a stealth mode, a blind mode, and you can make your next look. So now I want them to tilt down to this and also fade to blue. It's not playing that. It's still playing what's red and in the tilt up thing. It won't play this until you hit go. When you hit go, it's going to go to that queue over this time right here, the live time. So you can change this to whatever time you want, 5 seconds, 3 seconds, or whatever. When you hit go, it is going to fade to that look. You can see what happened there. I'll do this again. When I hit go, this view is going to snap back to what's actually playing and then fade into that thing. So it's going to snap to blue and I hit go, and then actually fade to red. The lights are just going to fade to red. They're not snapping at all. So you can do a whole show that way if you want to, and if you're quick enough and you kind of know what you're seeing, that's where presets come in handy, because because you can, before the show, make a bunch of presets, like I have this fan up here, this fan down here, this cross thing, whatever. And then you can just pull up a preset, quick picker thing, and say, go into stealth, I want them in this mode right here, and I want them blue, and I hit go. And now they're going to fade to that and do their thing.
And presets can be position.
Presets can be position, presets can be color, intensity, gobo, whatever. And you can also save smart effects too. So if I, have this intensity effect that I want, I can save it as a template. Say intensity wave, hit OK, and it's going to pop up there in your effects thing. So a really quick way to program a show on the fly: make all your presets, make all your effects templates prior, get in the show, load it in, get the lights up, flash them and everything, and then update all your presets. And then if you have enough presets and effect templates ready to go, you can do an entire show on the fly just with this alone. I can just say I want them there to start. I do stealth, I change them to here, and I want them to be green. Change my live time, hit go, and they're going to fade to that. This is where console can be a little helpful. One thing you can do with the console is like the S1 that they have here, which let's just do an M1 like I had yesterday. I'm pretty sure in the cue list faders tab over here, you can drag a live timing fader right there, and it's not going to show anything there, but this will actually take this time that you have selected, like 5 seconds. When that fader is at full, your live timing is 5 seconds, but you can turn that fader down. So if I wanted them to snap to 0, you can actually see this. I think this may not work the way I want it to. I thought it would. Yeah, I don't think it's working the way I want it to. I think you have to have something in there, which is silly. But on the S1, S3, or anything other than M1, this fader right here actually defaults to live timing, and that'll actually be, you can see in this right there, it'll say what your live timing is. Yeah, I don't think it works on the M1. But if I drag that down at 0, now anything I do will snap to 0 in 0 seconds. If I drag this up to 5, lifetime 5, any change that I make will fade over 5 seconds. So, and that live timing applies to the stealth mode and also any changes that you make actually in the live tab. So anything that I do right now will take 5 seconds to fade in, which is great for live situations. Terrible, terrible, terrible for programming. Because the other thing that applies to is if I'm in a cue list, those things are going to take 5 seconds to happen as well. Are they? Or are they not? Maybe not. That must be a new feature. It didn't used to be that way. That time also used to apply to stuff inside of cue lists as well. They changed that. Good for them. So the other thing that you can do with, I don't think I have time to go into what I did with Jam at SlaughterPen. But I had an S3 console at SlaughterPen, and what I did was so I had R2 washes, the battens, and I think that's it, really. So I made 2 cue lists for each one with a series of colors. And I actually broke them up into, on the battens I had 4 columns of 4 battens each. So I split them up into, I think, 2 and 2. Pretty sure that's what I did. And so you can actually, like if I throw one of these cue lists on, what you can do is throw this cue list. This one has more cues. you can change, so this one has, you can change what these buttons do. Cue list button right here, this little tab. You can drag these onto buttons over here to change the function of those buttons. So right now, this button right here is a play button. This one's a select button. When I hit the select button, it's going to select the cue list. But I can change, I can drag a jump button onto that. So now when I hit that button on the console, it's going to bring up this jump dialog. So what I can do is I have a list of a bunch of colors. So I hear in the song they're going into a down bridge. I want to go into something more chill, blue, whatever. Hit my jump button. I can say this one's purple. And you can do one of two things. You can do OK, which if you hit OK, it's going to jump to that cue. It's going to play it. You can see there. Or you can hit arm and close. And it's going to arm it. It's not going to do anything. The next time I hit play, it will go to that cue. So you have a cue list for your colors. You have a cue list for your gobos. You have a cue list for your position presets or whatever. And you can build a look just by hitting jump, I want to go there, jump, I want to go there, jump, I want to go there, arm it all, boom, it's all going to go, which is really cool. And that's kind of what that's mainly what I did at Slaughter Pen. I also, which definitely don't have time for because I have a minute, you can also do effects. You can apply effects to faders, make a cue list with some effects and that kind of thing. Like I did another cue list with 7 different effects. And I actually split them up into 2 faders, I think. You can drag faders onto it. So you can, I did effects size. You can drag that onto a cue, a fader, and effects rate. And so I had several different effects of like some tilt effects, some pan effects, some circle effects, whatever. And I can adjust the size of that circle, the size of that tilt, and the rate at the same time, just with the thing, with the faders. Which is really, really fun because one of the things that I like doing with effects is, say you have a chorus and it's going into a down bridge or whatever. They're doing this crazy thing, and instead of them like doing this, drag that size or the rate down to 0. They're going to do this and then just stop, you know, and not go into another look, which is super cool. And you can also just, you can fade out an effect that way by just changing the size, because it's going to, if you have the lights pointed here and they're doing a circle around that point, they're going to do this. And you just take that size down, and they're going to like that. So you can kind of manually just fade out that effect, which is pretty cool. And that's a super quick tutorial on how to busk a show.